Hi, I'm bringing you this video to share with you the how to be a leader in the workplace. It's a really important skill, leadership, and it should never be underestimated because it can bring such positive change. A great example of this is Ho Chi Minh. He was a great leader in Vietnam, and obviously people who live in Vietnam will understand his story much more than I will. But he brought huge amounts of positive change for the people of Vietnam, as well as, getting success and results. And this is what a leader does. He had a very famous quote, and it was, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. This is an amazing quote. And this is what leaders can do. They can pull together a great vision that embodies what they want to change and what they want to see. And so it can be hugely empowering for the people that follow. There are other examples of great leaders, such as Steve Jobs. And what he said was that your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. And what that teaches us is that if you are a great leader, you can lead yourself, because it enables you to control your own life and your own destiny. And one thing I really liked about what he said as well, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. And that's one of the things I truly believe. If your heart and your intuition are saying do something, follow that and see what happens. Another great leader that we can take inspiration from is Warren Buffett. He said, I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. What does that say? He always knew he was going to be rich. What this suggests is that in his mind, he believed it. And great leaders believe exactly what's going to happen for the future. They have that vision, they can see it, they visualize it, they imagine what it's going to be like. And it's such a powerful vision that they share with others. And others who share that same belief and that same vision will follow. And that's what creates the movements for change and the amazing things that can happen in people's lives. So it's important to remember, you can develop your own leadership skills. They are of value to society because, it can create positive change. And you can get the results and success. You have to, though, believe in yourself and develop the mindset that you can do it. Because if you don't believe that you're a leader and others don't believe in you, no one will follow you. And the other saying is that if you keep on doing the same thing, you're going to get the same answer or the same result. And leaders don't do the same thing. They innovate. They look to change for the better, positive change. Leadership isn't a job title. So don't be under the impression that, David, leader. You very rarely see that. You can have leaders in your community that have no badge, no job title, but they are people that you look up to, that inspire you, that lead your community. And at work, the same. There are people who have manager or director, and these are the people that lead you. But you yourself can also be a leader within your own team. Show initiative, create great ideas, work with others, influence others. These are all leadership skills. And the big question that I always get asked is, how do you become a leader? For me, when I started my career, it's a slow process. It doesn't just happen overnight. And it's a bit like building a house. You know, you have to build it one step at a time. So when you're at the start of your career, it's about understanding what are the key competencies that you need to become a leader, and start developing these in your career so that you can start to build the house slowly. And as you go through your career and develop into, you know, go into new jobs, get promoted into new jobs, continue and always continue to develop your core competencies and your leadership competencies, because these are the things that will ultimately make you great leaders. Because if you can master these competencies, you can really, really change things for the better. So take the time, build the house from a strong base, and build it one by one by one. So I can hear some of you saying, what's a competency? Okay. A competency is where you bring together a resource, such as time. You need the, how can I describe this? You need the capability to be able to do something, to do it successfully. But most importantly, you need the desire to do it. So a competency is about having the desire to do something, have the ability to do it successfully, but have the resources such as time to be able to do it. Those three things combined are what we call a competency. And for leadership, there's a whole range of competencies that really are needed to develop. I'm not going to go through them all, but over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to focus on each of the competencies to allow people to develop and understand what are the core ones that you really need to focus on. So, you know, for me, communication. You cannot, you can never be, you've got to keep going at communication. It's so important. And if you go to any organisation, one of their biggest problems is always communication. So it's very, very important to practice that. And I'll do some more work on that in future. Key competencies of a leader we've talked about. People, as we've said, some great leaders in the past, they have a vision. They know why they want things to change. They inspire people with that vision. They engage with people. They have a plan. They develop strategic plans to enable people to get from A to B. A mission is very much about, the here and now, what you're going to do now. The vision is about the future. But a leader is very clear about how they get there. And it's not them going on their own. It's the team. They're very much about working with teams. So the next couple of weeks, we'll start to look at each of the leadership competencies, and there's quite a few. And actually, as you go through your career, you start by doing the lower levels of a competency, but as you develop, you start to increase the level of the competency. So if you're just starting out, you'll learn the basics of communication. But when you get to the senior levels, you'll be looking at mastering communication, giving presentations and other things like that. And, in your early parts of your career, you will have to-do lists and plans for the day. But as you get further down your career, you will be thinking about creating a long-term strategy, and together with a whole team of people and a community, so that everyone's engaged in that direction of travel. There are many aspects of leadership, and all I can say is, if you're committed and are self-disciplined to learn the key competencies of a leader, then there's a real opportunity for you to be great, to create positive change, to get job promotions, to lead others into a different future than where they are now, but also lead yourself. You should never forget, the power of leading yourself. If you can lead yourself, others will follow. If you follow and join with everybody else, you lose direction. So if you're trying to support people, for example, imagine there's a group of people in a forest with lots of trees. They can't see the direction in which to go. If you're the leader of that group and you're in the forest with them, you haven't got a clue where to go. So a leader gets perspective, looks at it from a distance, and helps guide those people out to that forest. That's what leaders do. They look into the future. They're not so focused on the here and now. That's the job of a manager. Managers control, leaders inspire. So I'll leave, any questions that you have, please don't be afraid to leave a message for me. But yeah, please just connect with me, subscribe, contact me, push the button and come through to my website. And I'm happy to, for anybody to have a half an hour free conversation about what your needs are, what your development needs. And so if I can help, I will. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I really appreciate your time tonight, and best of luck leading into the future. Thank you.